Disclaimer: the podcast contains adult themes, adult dialogues, and spoilers. Our opinions are just that, opinions. We're not bashing any of the creators we discuss, and we are not bashing you if you perceive things differently than us. Listeners and viewer discretion is advised. Hello, welcome to another episode of Story and Things, a storytelling podcast. I'm your host, Cheli.
And I'm your host, Yajaira.
And we are going to talk about piece of work.
A piece of fucking work.
Oh, gosh. We have... Oh, thank you.
You just said it. Well, because you didn't say it.
After by Anna Todd, most known for being one of the few fan fiction renditions that actually gets turned into a book and then a movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we are going to be talking about After by Anna Todd, and we actually filmed this once.
Why do you have to say that?
Because I feel like the truth has to be known. Because we made some jokes, and I don't want it to seem like it's our first time hearing it. Because both of us are not going to react genuinely.
Girl, I was drunk. I'm not going to remember.
By the way, this is a wine edition, meaning we are going to be drinking in order to get through this pain. But I mean, the first time we got through it, we drank a little too much.
And we were just like out of it.
There were some good parts. But a lot of it was just us in a daze. So today we're drinking orange juice.
Yeah. You introduced this story to me the very, very first time that I even knew of its existence. Do you remember that? We were in college.
We were heading to an Ariana Grande concert.
Was that when it was?
Yeah. And we were in the car and you were driving. And I was like, I've got a story to read to you. And my friend who I had, my dear friend from college,
Shout out.
She was the one who was like, Cheli, you just got to read this. It's so
life-changing.
So she didn't tell me what it was. She didn't tell me if she liked it or hated it. I think she liked it. But she just told me to read it. And we tried reading it together. And we got kind of far, but I was like, oh my gosh, I got to read this to Yajaira. And we were in the car going to an Ariana Grande concert. And I know it changed you as a person because you've never been the same since.
You've noticed? Thank you.
You know,
for the worst.
Just been going on jogs in the morning now. I look at the clouds.
I just try not to think about this fucking story ever again. It's hard. But we didn't get very far, though.
We didn't.
I just want to bring that up because we didn't get to the juicy bits.
We're going to whine about this book. Let me explain this book in 140 characters and less.
Oh, okay.
No. Do you think I can?
No. Are you going to type into Twitter or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, let me try to explain this book. It's a story that revolves around our main character, Tessa, who is a freshman who is going to go to college, and she has her aspirations in check. She has a beautiful boyfriend named Noah. Yes, I remember. She has a wonderful single mom who has worked so hard to get her where she's at. And she's just like a straight A kid who is ready to learn. And
wearing long skirts.
Yeah.
She is very... Is she religious? I can't remember.
I have no idea.
Okay, keep going. Sorry.
But, yeah, you know, other people wear short skirts, but she wears t-shirts. So,
okay.
I was waiting for you to finish talking. I was like, come on. I'm not going to remember that lyric forever.
I hate you.
But she, you know, things aren't gradual in this story. I think one little quirk about Anna, old Anna T, is that she does not like to wait.
No.
Because as soon as she steps into her dorm room, she is introduced to her roommate who is kind of a party girl.
She's fun. She's not even a freshman, though, which is weird.
Yeah,
I don't know how they got paired up together.
Me neither.
That's weird.
But anyway, through that, she meets Hardin, which is the love interest of this book. If you read the original and are a true fan, this is Harry Styles. Tatted up Harry Styles. And he sucks. He is a horrible guy, but you know what? Through this story, they grow together. They grow together, and skipping forward, you know, little details. We don't have to talk about that. But at the end, they're so deeply in love, you know, but...
How deep in love are they?
I mean, they got an apartment together.
You're so right. And it was like, what, 3 months?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
2 months?
Yeah.
3 months.
That's how long it takes.
True.
But they're just so in love, and and he just MIAs. He's like, sorry, I'm gonna go to the library, and never comes back.
Yeah.
And I mean, I get it. Sometimes I gotta study a lot too.
He wasn't even studying.
But she figures out that he's at a bar with his friends who she has known throughout this whole story. She goes and she's like, hey guys, what's up? Like, where's Hardin? And he's like, I gotta tell you something in front of everyone. Not like that, you know, little details. Okay. And it's revealed that throughout this whole story, Hardin, who, you know, had just seen her, kind of hated her from the beginning. This whole thing that they had was just a bet. And she leaves super sad. And I mean, scene.
End scene. I almost wish that he was just cheating. You know? Like when he went MIA.
Horrible. Yeah.
It's like, only he was just cheating. Jesus.
Hardin, I can't believe you're such a trope. And it's like, leave me alone. And then it just rains. And she's like, oh my God.
It was raining.
Yeah, it's just the cliche. Her life's a cliche.
Her whole life is a cliche.
But you know what? That we could have like talked about the whole story. But I feel like just understand that this is a cliche bet story. There's so many of these online and they all kind of end the same, where the who was supposed to be the antagonist, the enemy, ends up falling for the person that they did this bet to.
Would they be an anti-hero?
There's nothing heroic about this boy.
His name is Hero though. Ira.
I hate it. I hate it.
Okay, so what do you want to whine about first? Because there's just so much in this book to bitch about. Where should we start? Should we start with Tessa? We should start with Tessa.
Yes. I want to whine about just her character in general.
There's nothing likable about Tessa.
No, and I tried really hard to like her.
Okay.
Like when the story, I did. I tried really hard to like her, but as soon as the story starts, the author tries to make it a big deal that Tessa is kind of like a nerd who doesn't dress.
I guess so. I was going to say more of like a book. Are they called book nerds? What are they called?
Bookworms.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But I thought that's what her character would be, but she is the complete opposite, which is
she's just
very like judgy. She's very judgmental towards everyone, which you wouldn't think she is, because she's over here who had a hard life. Her mom was a single mom. She had to get a job at 16 and work for the family. But she's still over here judging people left and right. There's a scene where she walks in, I think it's the beginning of the book, where she's talking to her roommate and two boys come over. And it's Hardin, which is the love interest, and Tristan, which is the best friend, or no, the boyfriend of her roommate. I can't remember her roommate's name. Stephanie. Okay. But when they come in, she looks at Tristan and is like, you know, he would have been handsome if he didn't wear too much eyeliner.
Yeah, I remember that.
If I had met someone like that in college, I would have just walked out. Did you ever feel judged in college?
No, because I feel like in college, people just don't care. At least in my experience. Because I feel like the way that Tessa was so high school, you know?
It is. And like, if you don't like a certain group of people, because I'm pretty sure if I tried hard enough, I can find someone who's judgy in college.
Yeah.
You know, if
I'm
I
not
hung
saying
around,
they don't exist.
Yeah, but in college, it's very like, if you don't like that, then just don't do it.
Yeah, for real.
You know? And
problem solved.
Exactly. Because I remember there was a guy that I had met through like association of people I knew, and he judged my major. And as soon as I told him what my major was, he was like, oh, you probably don't want to make any money, do you?
Yeah. What an asshole.
But then I just never associated with him. I didn't even start a fight. I was just like, whatever.
This could have been your enemies to lovers romance story.
This could have been my after.
My during.
You know,
during college.
But that's what you do. You just get yourself out of situations like that. But her mindset is like, I hate these people. But
so,
I mean,
I'm just hang around them.
I have to be around them. I mean, Steph, in the beginning of the book, Steph invites her to a party. And she's like, I don't want to party. And it's like, Steph's like, come on, you don't want to be here all by yourself.
You don't want to just be studying
She's
all
like,
the time.
I mean, you're right. It's like, shit.
Right. Tessa, that's another annoying thing about her was that she gives into peer pressure so fast.
Which honestly feels like it wasn't really an issue in college.
Mm-mm.
And I don't want to say it's not an issue, but come on. Come on.
Just say no.
Didn't Anna Todd write this when she was 25?
Yes. Because we looked it up last time, okay? I'm just going to say it. We looked it up.
I just knew that.
We looked it up. It's weird for us to know that.
No, you know. It's like
we just know that.
Yeah, Anna Todd born. No, it's like
she's
start
obviously
listing.
A Taurus. Something else that I don't like about Tessa. Listen, I don't like Noah, which is her boyfriend in the beginning. I don't like Noah because Noah is a little bitch. The fact that Noah literally texts Tessa's mom. It was like, oh my gosh, she's drinking. Ew, that's gross. He's like ratting her out. Anyway.
Yeah, he was.
So this is just annoying.
It was a weird relationship.
That's like a little brother.
It is.
Ew.
Okay, but Tessa's not like the good one in this either because she. How do I say this? It's weird. It's weird trying to talk about her because there's just so much wrong with her. I don't even know where to start. But
highlight the whole book.
She cheated on her boyfriend with Hardin. Mm-hmm. And then she has the audacity to ask Noah to take her back. And Noah's like, I'm down. And then cheats on cheats on him while he's there in college. Like they're together and she's like, BRB, and then she goes to get figured.
Okay, you need it. Hold it. Ew.
That's what happened.
Describe it like that.
That's what happened.
I don't know if that's what it happens.
Oh wait, no, it doesn't.
It doesn't happen that night. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Yes, Noah goes to her college to visit her, and then that night, Hardin is having a moment because he has hella anger issues, but we'll get to him. And so she goes to help Hardin with his emotional problems, but so she just leaves Noah there. So whenever she goes and cheats on, it says it's so casual. Whenever she cheats on Noah,
cheating Sundays, Tuesdays.
When she comes back, do you remember? Oh my God, this part was so uncomfortable to read.
Oh yeah.
When she comes back to Noah, Hardin shows up. He's like busts in and he's like, "How dare you leave me?
How dare you?" After that night we spent together, and Noah's like, I was waiting here because I couldn't leave since you took my car. Like it's so. Tessa just causes so much toxic situations.
And just makes it worse. But also, a little bit more details about that. Do you remember that she was getting turned on by Hardin? When Noah
was there.
Yeah, Noah was right there.
And she was like, oh my God,
wait, hold on. Hold on. Say it
That's
again.
disgusting.
Yeah.
She needs to control herself.
Even though I didn't like Noah, still, like, that's messed up.
Oh, gosh.
Which she's known Noah most of her life.
I just think that she could have handled that whole situation of college so much differently. I know that college is one of your first experiences of, like, fake adulthood. Like, you're finally independent. Yeah, you're finally independent. You get to make choices, and now if you get in trouble, you got to figure out what you're going to do about it. But the thing is, she just never did anything about anything.
Yeah.
And I'm connecting this to the way it was written. The fact that she became friends, the only friend she had at that school was related by step to Hardin. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
She
becomes friends with Landon, which Landon is almost his stepbrother.
Yeah.
Because, whatever. Which is weird, yeah.
It's weird.
She should have had other friends.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. She could have stuck by herself. College is very much a place where you can either, I want to hang out with someone. Okay, that's cool. But also, I'm going to go to class and just mind my own business.
For real.
You don't need... The way she viewed it was very high school. That's why it's kind of unbelievable to me that it's written the way it's written. And I mean, we've watched interviews. We were watching some right before this.
Interviews with Anna Todd.
The fact that Anna Todd kind of described it as, you know, the thing that's great about the relationship between Tessa and Hardin is that Hardin brings out confidence in Tessa. which
I would say it's more so anger.
it's anger. It's not being confident.
Confidence.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
I don't know
weird.
if walking on eggshells all the time is confidence. That was their whole relationship.
Or like
She was
finally
just-
going out there. And because I think if I'm trying to defend this, I think it's the confidence of finally talking back to her mom, who was controlling, and
She
finally
could've-
breaking up with her boyfriend. But
Okay,
I mean,
but she didn't need Harden for that.
and she also didn't need to drink
Mm-hmm.
or freaking go have sex near a lake.
Yeah.
Like-
I mean, a little romantic though.
Oh, you're right. But I don't get it. I don't get Tessa.
Mm.
But you know who I hate more than Tessa?
Steph.
I mean, no, surprisingly. But
Obviously Harden.
oh, gosh, I hate Harden.
I hate Harden too. I told you, and I also said this last time. I think he's the worst male lead I've ever read.
Yeah.
And that's including all the fanfics I've read, and I've consumed so many. He's
The worst.
so toxic.
He's so
I was losing
aggressive.
Yeah, I was losing brain cells.
I was
reading
too.
this
You
freaking
watched
story.
me read this story.
It was funny.
we
Recommend.
were at a Denny's and I was like reading and then
Yeah,
putting
'cause
my phone
you were
down.
trying to finish it, and she would constantly put her phone down, and I was like, "What part? Which part was it?"
Yeah, and there was a point where I told you like they got in a fight again. I'll tell you when they're better, and it took like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, we were gonna count how many times they would fight and then make up again
in a chapter.
in a chapter.
It was a lot.
was a
The
lot.
fact that Harden's character is supposed to be complex. He is related to the dean of the school that they're attending, and he comes from like kind of a rich family from his dad's side.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't like to associate with his dad due to his dad being a drunk while he was growing up. And because of this, one day his dad wasn't home and his mom was attacked and R-worded by a bunch of guys.
Yeah, and Harden was
watching.
a child, right? I think he was young.
Yeah.
And he couldn't do anything about it, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. And this is like a grudge that he holds against his father, so he doesn't want to associate with that side of the family.
Mm-hmm.
And in this book, his father's getting married, so that it makes it even more so that he doesn't want to associate with his dad because it feels like he's just writing out Harden and creating this new family.
Moving on, how dare he be happy?
The thing is, though, explaining that right now, that story to you, that sounds like a pretty good, like,
Backstory?
Yeah, like, you can make a character out of that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, Harden is a jerk when you first meet him.
Mm-hmm.
He is rude. The first time they meet, Tessa comes out of showering from a co-ed bathroom, and her clothes is soaked. And she goes into her room wanting to change and realizes that Harden is on Stephanie's bed. And she's like, excuse me, this is my room. I really want to change. And he's like, well, don't flatter yourself.
I'm not gonna look.
If someone did that to me in college,
oh, I know.
Hell no.
I know.
I don't know what I would have done because freshman year me wasn't as confrontational as I am now.
No, yeah, same.
I would have cried. I would have cried. That would have made me feel so like embarrassed,
Yeah.
angry. But she did absolutely nothing and she changed anyway. Didn't she?
I think she changed in front of him.
Where did she go?
Didn't Steph walk in and then she like kicked him out?
I don't remember. Honestly, it doesn't matter. Like Harden just saying that to her is really rude. And he continues to be rude. But for some reason, that's charming about him. The way that he's written is supposed to seem charming.
You're right. Well, it's charming because he is this bad boy, but also because he reads.
Oh my gosh, he reads.
He
And he reads
reads.
like big books, like big boy books.
Big boy bikes, right? Like they argued about Pride and Prejudice. And they would constantly quote Wuthering Heights, right?
Yeah. Well, that was the first book she picked up. That was his. And they just constantly show that, he is smart. He's an intellectual.
An intellectual, but he also has anger issues.
And he's also tatted up. I don't know. It's like crazy.
Right.
But just him in general, I understand that because of his trauma, that might have developed anger issues. And I'm not saying that a person can cure everything. Tessa's not going to be the one to cure his trauma.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that they like frame him is like, oh no, he's always angry. He's just like that.
Right. And then it's also toxic that people are relying on Tessa to bring out the best in him when he's over here bringing out the worst in her.
The fact that there was this one scene where Tessa did something that made him angry, and he went back to his house, got incredibly drunk, or his parents' house, his dad's house, got incredibly drunk and started breaking all of the dishes of his dad's home.
Well, you never break a few dishes?
But the fact, because Landon, who's his stepbrother, is there. Landon decides to call Tessa, who he's known for less than half a year. It's like, he said your name, so can you like come talk to him? It wasn't even
like a week.
I don't think it was either. So, like, what? That's so toxic. And even the parents are like, thank you for being with him,
Thank you so much.
You've done so much for this family. Here, let me get you an internship. I love that you're with him.
God,
so it's like, oh gosh, Hardin is framed as just like a boy who you just need a little patience to work with him.
Hardin doesn't deserve any patience.
And honestly, I remember growing up, I was a hella pushover. And I do remember once. Okay. That's it. Next topic.
I just wanted to get that off my chest.
Like as a Pisces, I want to be a people pleaser. So.
Oh my God. Okay.
So no, but the reason I bring this up is because I remember having a conversation with my sister once about
when you were younger.
No, I think this was around college time.
Oh, okay.
We just talked about how we were in high school.
Oh.
And I do remember her bringing up like, it's around college time when you realize that it's not your duty to please everyone.
Yeah.
Like if for some reason there's someone who is going through something, and it sucks if they're going through something, but they're causing you to feel horrible, you have no like obligation to be there and be dragged down. Like there's just so much you can do, but you have to think about yourself too.
Yeah. And then I feel like a lot of the times because I know I'm the same way, we want to offer solutions or we want to like help people when honestly all you really need to do is just listen. You don't need to go the extra mile. And
Tessa's over here being best friends with her parents.
His parents.
Or with his parents, his dad and his wife.
It's just weird.
It is weird because she starts hanging out with them while Hardin's not there. But that being said, Hardin's a bitch.
Yeah, Hardin is a bitch. I don't want to be mean because, listen, his trauma is valid.
Yeah.
But he's kind of a pussy. Like, just like a little bit, Just the fact that he doesn't know how to handle his emotions is a huge turnoff. But then I don't understand why people write this sort of character. Because I don't know. Do you think that people find this kind of character hot?
I feel like back then people did. Because he's also framed as incredibly jealous. And anytime Noah was brought up, he was like, whatever about it. But then he has a friend named Zed that's Zayn. Come on.
I forget that this is a Harry Styles fanfic.
Yeah, I don't.
You don't. You literally don't. When we were reading it or you were reading it, you'd be like, this was blank. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, this had to be Zayn. Come on. But when Zed would go around Tessa, or Tessa would be like, you know what? I'm going to invite Zed instead to make him jealous. He would get jealous. And I told you, I like when jealousy is written in stories because I think it can be cute. I think, I think it's cute when characters get, like, flustered.
Yeah.
In situations like that. But there's a point where jealousy is just toxic. And that was all of Hardin's character. Because as soon as he figured out that Tessa was taking Zed to like a campfire, he just took a random girl just in spite of her. And it's like, what the heck is wrong with you? I'm just trying to live my life because you're toxic and you're over here doing this.
Right, but Tessa keeps coming back to him. So it's not really, it's not just on him.
I know. It's just... I can't hate both of them all at once. It's so much work.
Too much.
I'm tired.
My head hurts.
Okay, you go ahead. Take one for the team.
It's just that What bothers me a lot about this book is that Tessa never gave herself an opportunity to experience life again after.
After by Anna Todd. Yeah.
After Hardin.
Mm-hmm.
She became so fixated on him because, it would be like a chase.
Yeah.
It was like a little yo-yo, between them. But she never allowed herself to actually experience someone outside of Noah and Hardin. She would just keep going back to Hardin. And then remember she wanted to go back to Noah?
Yeah, and then
for
like
never
mind.
Right. She tried to like make out with Noah, but then Noah wasn't into it. He was like, okay, friend.
Cute.
Right.
What was that? I know that in that interview we watched, they said that the thing that Tessa brought out in Hardin was him being a better person in general. But you remember how Anna Todd framed it? Like, oh, well, Tessa brings more out in Hardin than Hardin does in Tessa.
Yes, which is toxic.
That's toxic.
I'm so glad that Hardin is getting the most out of this relationship. But it's so unfair to Tessa. And listen, I've been in her shoes. So I would get PTSD reading Hardin, like everything that he would do. Like her just constantly walking on eggshells because even when they were happy, in the back of her mind, she'd be like, oh, we're so good right now, but wonder what he's going to get mad about next or he's going to get mad about this. It's like, that's not a way to experience a relationship. You're constantly worried about when it's going to end or go bad. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And the days would seem so exhausting because reading it would be like, oh, it's such a crazy day that we woke up. We had such a good morning. We broke up. We had a horrible fight. I went over here and he found me and now we're hugging. Yeah. Such a crazy day. I would not be able to emotionally recover from that if that was my everyday.
No, you don't. It's super draining.
You don't. Okay, can I bring up one little thing too? The fact that Hardin dropped the class that they shared, and as soon as they got back together, he got in it again. College would never allow you to do that.
No.
You can probably drop a course if it's the beginning of the semester or the trimester.
But to get back in?
I know.
No.
It's like his counselor was like, is it for Tessa? I was like, yeah.
Oh, but he's the son.
The dean.
Maybe that's why.
But
they didn't even just explain it. Mm-mm. I'm filling in the blanks here.
It's so dumb. Okay. I hate it.
True.
I dislike too that, there's this stigma with fan fiction.
Right.
That gets popular enough to become books.
Because 50 Shades of Grey, this one.
Is there another one? I think these are the only biggest ones so far.
Mortal Instruments was also a fan fiction.
Okay.
First. Oh, Kissing Booth.
Really?
Kissing Booth's a fan. Oh, no, it was a fanfic. Yeah.
Of what?
It's an original.
Okay, I thought you were gonna be like, Power Rangers.
No, Sonic. There's a stigma around fan fiction because
it's fan fiction. And it's like, oh,
I don't think it's because of the fan fiction. I think it's because of the way they're written.
And also some people just view it as like, it's real people. Like, you shouldn't be writing like that about real people. And I know that Anna Todd brought that up, that, we should break that stigma. But I don't think this is the way to do it, Anna.
What do you mean? Because of the story?
I just think that this story was very not great.
So, but are you trying to say that if
this
it was
isn't a good representation of fan fiction? I feel like there was so much fan fiction like this coming around during that time that shouldn't be what represents the whole of fan fiction. Because I've read some really good fan fiction that I feel is very, very worthy of taking that spotlight. I used to read One Direction fan fiction, not because I was a fan, but because one of my friends, it was one of my friends who was like, don't tell anyone I do this, but I need you to read it with me because I have to talk about it with someone. So I would read it with him.
Wow, and you wouldn't read the supernatural fan fiction I would talk about?
You talked about I'm sorry, I would block it out. No, you didn't.
I know. Just kidding. But if I did.
What if I just like lied and I was like, oh, I read that one.
You're like, yeah, totally.
Yeah, this.
Okay, so you read one. Did you read this one?
I never did. I never did. But I do remember I read a few that I was like, damn, this is like pretty good.
Right.
So it's like, it's kind of.
No, but yeah, I know what you mean.
It's disappointing that this is what became a movie.
Yeah.
And
a book.
Yeah, but like, good for her for getting this far. Because, I mean, it's hard. And I mean, she really likes writing. She said she really liked reading other types of fan fictions. Good for you, but...
I don't think the problem is the fan fiction, though. My problem is the toxic relationship. I don't mind that it was a fan fiction.
Yeah, me neither. So I don't know why it's framed like that's the worst part.
Right? It's literally not.
It's not. It's
the worst part is Hardin. That's it.
And Tessa. Yeah. It's both of them. It's the entire premise of this whole story is bad. But like the thing is though, that whole bet thing, like I would have been so much more into this story if I had known it was a bet.
Really? Because I feel like I was actually heartbroken when I found it.
I was too, but I would have liked... I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, you're fine.
But I would have liked it too, whichever way, but I feel like it would have been more impactful seeing Hardin trying to stop this.
Or seeing Hardin trying to actually be nice to her. Because he was never really, like, super nice.
And I wish, even if we hadn't known it was a bet, it would have been nice to see one moment where you could have... after reading this whole story, gone back and been like, this is when he fell in love. Type of thing. Because I have no idea when he fell in love with her.
I don't either.
I don't even think he loved her.
I don't think he loves her.
Because, like, there's a point where they, after 3 months of dating, because they're so freaking close, they can never get off each other except when they're at each other's throats. But, it doesn't happen often.
Right.
They move in together, and there's a point where she's going to work, and he's like, let's switch cars for some reason. Because, I'll just drive your car over there, and then you can take that car, and I'll take my... And it's like, whatever, fine.
Okay,
I'll take your fucking car. So she takes his car, and then when she gets out of work, she sees that he gave the car a paint job. And even like before that, them living in an apartment, he paid the down payment and everything. And at the end of the bet, it's revealed that the money that he got from the bet, he felt so bad that out of guilt, he bought that apartment and paid for the paint job with the money from the bet.
Wasn't it just the paint job?
It was both. That's why he was so willing to put money down.
I thought he was willing to put money down because he was trying to trap her.
Oh my God.
But I mean, either way.
That's what it felt like though, right? It felt like he was very like, you can't be mad at me. Look at your ride.
Or look at your sick ride.
You see any chips? No. Because I know a guy and he did a pretty good job.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's toxic.
I hate it. I hate it so much. I regret to inform everyone that after I finished reading the first one, I really wanted to read the second one.
Did you?
Because I just wanted to know if they were going to I knew they were going to get back together. But
there's like 7 books.
How can this one fight possibly be different than all the other fights that happened in this book? Like, because this is so impactful, will they reconcile in a different way? They didn't. They just ended up back together. Yeah. It was like she got really drunk. Well, I watched the movie. I didn't read the second book.
Right.
But she got really drunk, called him, and then they...
Right.
They had sex.
Yeah,
and
like
then,
they do.
And then they were like in a weird, we're not together, but we're together type of thing. And then they were together and it was okay.
Yeah, they never really talk. Okay, we're not talking about the second book, but...
No, I know we're not.
Talk about it. They don't really talk about their feelings, period. Never.
That's weird.
I know.
I don't think I would ever move in with someone until I knew. But the thing is, I see nothing wrong with moving in with someone in general. Like, if you want to move in with them, that's fine.
Right.
But just know that that's a commitment.
Yeah.
I hate this book. Are there any specific scenes that you want to talk about that you hated?
Yes, I do feel that it was so manipulative how he told her that he loved her. Because they fought and he was with Molly, who she was constantly jealous of. he was with Molly, and I think they kissed, right? But she also kisses someone else, and she gets mad because he kissed Molly.
Yeah.
And so she's leaving, and he's like, Tessa, I love you.
And everyone's there to hear it.
Yeah, and she's just like,
what the heck?
You're freaking crazy.
Yeah, it felt very... And you know what? That too, I don't even know if that was a real I love you as the reader.
No.
Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to feel about that situation.
I just feel like he's just manipulative.
Yeah,
Every
that
time.
was just another part that he was supposed to meet for the bet.
Yeah, so every time I felt like... So every time he felt further apart from her, that's when he would try to grab her again and somehow reel her back into his life. Mm-hmm. That's what I felt like. I just felt like he was so manipulative. And I hated how... What is that term called? Like when he makes himself seem like the victim, so then she feels bad about it.
They both do that to each other, though.
Yeah, but I feel stronger about him, so.
Do you remember that scene where Tessa... I'm sorry, I have receipts on my phone because I screenshotted it while I was reading.
Okay.
But there's a scene in chapter 17 where they're talking and Hardin is being super aggressive.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, you know what? I've been nothing but nice to you, and you're nothing but rude to me. And here I actually thought at one point we could be friends. And it's like, Tessa, you've never been nice to this boy. ever.
And there's no way you guys are going to be friends.
Yeah, like just, you don't have to be friends with everyone in college. College is so big. Mm-hmm. You don't have to talk to him.
Exactly.
I've met people in college where I was friends with them. And then they did something where it was kind of like, I don't agree with what you just did. Mm-hmm. And I just don't talk to them.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
That's it. I just sit somewhere else.
For real. It's really not that hard. But for whatever reason, she's just so focused on Hardin. Mm-hmm. But they're both trash, though.
They're both trash. I have a few other things.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I have a lot.
Okay, we'll cut it short.
Okay, I will. Chapter 37. I don't remember the context of this one, but there's a point where they get in a really bad fight. I think this was after he kissed Molly, and she goes home, and he's there on her bed, and Hardin says, I'm not going to apologize. And she just says, I know you aren't. Like that makes me feel so angry for her, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, why are you continuing to put yourself in these situations?
You can just move on. It's not that hard, you know?
He's not
even that great.
I want to talk about what people thought about this book. Because we just went on Goodreads. Are you on Goodreads?
I'm on Goodreads. I
thought this book was going to, like, have a bad review.
Yeah.
Rating.
I thought the stars were going to be less than, like, 2.
Yeah, me too. It's a 3.73 out of 5.
For real? That's...
Who rated it? Anna Todd with all her, like... troll accounts. She's over here rating it.
She has the time, you think?
I feel so... Should you feel bad for authors if their writing's not great?
Yeah.
I feel bad for her. I feel bad for her. Because the thing is, I don't think she's incapable of writing. I just think that Tessa and Hardin aren't good characters.
No, they suck.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. But if I wrote something similar to this, would you still, like, love me? Or would you disown me? Your face.
So let's read our first news.
Oh my god.
No.
You would disown me.
Okay. I'll answer that truthfully. If you wrote this in high school, I think I would have been down for it because I was in high school. But then when I realized what it was, and if you were still down for it, you're like, this is gonna... Did I tell you? They contacted me. This is gonna be a movie. You want to be in it? I want my one line.
Yeah, your one line.
I don't know. I think I would talk to you.
Like a therapist?
Would you be offended though if I pulled... Think of any story you've ever written. Just one that you really like. Okay, do you have it in your mind?
Yes, I do.
If I went up to you and I was just like, I don't think this is good. Like, I think this story is really
Is it already published?
Yes.
Damn.
It's already published and a lot of people like it, and I just tell you, like, I don't want you to be known as the person who, like, writes this.
So what do I do? Do I just, like...
No, how would you feel?
Go around and burn all the copies? Like, what do I do?
You're like, thank you for telling me.
Thank you.
Get rid of them.
Scrap them.
Cheli doesn't like it.
No, I feel like I would ask for your approval before I get anything published.
But I don't want you to like not publish something if I don't like it, you know?
Because you're not gonna like it. You think you're not gonna like it?
I mean, no, just kidding. I
I'm
don't
picky apparently.
No, but we both have like the same mindset on like a lot of things.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying
If
I would appreciate your approval.
If I told you before you published it, like you were like, this is the one I'm gonna take to an agency, and I was like, I read it, and I'm just gonna be super honest with you. I don't like your character, blank and blank.
Oh.
What would you say back to that, though? And what if I gave you reasons? Like, you know, when you just...
Page 107.
When he just punched him in the face, and he was like, oh. Because
Yeah.
I don't think I agree.
Okay. I think I would respect it.
You would?
I would listen to you, yeah.
But would you change it?
Yes.
Because there's a lot
because it's you. I think I would do it because it's you. Because remember, I used to do workshops. Remember?
Yeah,
And they would criticize whatever I wrote at the time.
And you were like, thank you for having opinions, but you're all wrong.
Thank you for telling me. No, that wasn't how it was. It did make me realize that there's things in books or in my writing that I don't think about. Mm-hmm. For example, like I told you, like the setting. I never really focused on setting. I just kind of put them wherever. Yeah, they're just there.
I get you. And you just grew from the criticism you would get, or constructive criticism, more like it.
Yeah.
Because most writers, when they tell someone about their writing, it's very, well, from what I've seen, it's super helpful. Because it's not like trashing you. It's more like, oh, well, you should really consider how someone would view this. Yeah. Because I've been in one creative writing class, and it was really nice because... I feel like I always talk about this creative writing class, but it was really nice because I do agree with the idea that like people are going to consume your writing, and even if you viewed it a certain way, you have to realize that the way that they view it's going to be different, and they don't know you personally, so they can't ask you questions about it. Yeah. So I think like there must have been someone in Anna Todd's life, her best friend or something like that, who read this.
I mean, maybe she was just filled with yes men, you know? Maybe everyone around her was like, yes, Hardin. Well, we saw the interview. Yeah. Remember, she said that she liked it because they felt like real people.
But they're...
I can understand that. But if you're going to have real people, at least have real growth. Yeah. You know? Like, have Tessa move on from Hardin, and if they want to come back to each other, okay, whatever. But, like, have them grow first.
You know, and to talk about... I'm sorry. To talk about crows. Throw here. Thank you for the sound effect. To talk about crows. I feel like every episode we do, we reference another episode we've done.
Why is that?
Because... I don't know. Does anyone ever do that? I don't think you're supposed to. I don't think that's good podcast etiquette. No. So if you've read Crow, I just want to talk about like when a character is in love with another character, but they know that they're not emotionally or mentally ready to be with that character. I think that's good growth because they know that like they're not ready. This isn't going to work, and I'm just going to
bring you down. Yeah.
That's I agree. Good growth.
I agree.
And even if Hardin and Tessa were together for a while and it was toxic and they both like grew distant, but then Hardin was like,
went to therapy.
I have to change not only for her, but for me. You know, that would have been good. I don't know.
No, I agree. I agree. Yeah.
I found a review that I want to read. Okay. Do I say her name?
Just say it.
Okay. Her name is April. Well, it makes it easier. There's so many Aprils in this world, so no one's gonna find her.
They find her.
April from third period. I know her. We both went on Goodreads, and we decided to whine more about this. Why don't we read some reviews that people have left? And I told you, I realized that there's a lot of negative reviews, but it got a good rating. And you did bring up a good point.
I just feel like it's the angry people that are more likely to leave a review.
Yeah, exactly.
So, unless someone's being paid to give it a good rating.
Or unless someone like this sweet soul of April wants to write a review that's a 3 out of 5 stars.
Oh, it's a 3? Okay.
Yeah, cool. She liked it. She read this story wanting to form her own opinion, but she said she wasn't a One Direction fan. She wasn't a Harry Styles fan. But she was so set on hating this book, she thought she would. But after she started reading it, she realized that she really liked it.
Oh.
So
Interesting.
this is what she wrote. I understand where people are coming from when they say that Tessa and Hardin's relationship is abusive. But I watched an interview with the author and I thought it was so interesting. She straight up said that he's a bad person and that not all people are good. This story is realistic in that sense. Everyone has issues and he's obviously trying to deal with those. But it's obvious to anyone who reads this book that he's trying so hard to change.
No, he's not.
He always goes back to his toxic friends and he always goes back to his toxic ways with this Bet, because even throughout the story, which, like how I brought up, I have no idea when he fell in love with her, because he continued to do the things for the Bet. Like the first time they had sex and he kept her sheets because she had blood on them.
So disgusting.
That's disgusting.
And the condom too.
Oh yeah, that's gross.
That's weird.
They also wrote, I think I may have hated this book if Tessa just took the abuse and kept crawling back to him, but she doesn't.
She literally does.
She sticks up for herself and is a feisty, independent character who knows what she wants. And she will tell him if he needs to get back in line. And I really, really appreciated this. I don't think this book is glamorizing abusive relationships. I think it's teaching people empathy, that not all people are perfect, and how to stick up for yourself. And not only did she stick up for herself to Hardin, but also to her mother.
Well, she did stick it to her mother. But...
Yeah, but in a very negative way. Like if I went home and I told my mom, no, I don't even want to talk bad about my mom because I'm scared that she'll like come down and be like,
talk about your dad then.
If I went home to my dad and I was like, you're wrong, I love this man. And, you know, I've been with him for 3 months and he's my everything and I'm going to move in with him.
He's my everything.
My dad would laugh in my face.
No, same.
It'd be like, okay, if you believe that, whatever,
Same.
You know? But, like...
My mother would tell me I'm crazy.
Yeah, but would be very much like, go do it.
No, my mom wouldn't.
Really? My parents would. They'd be like, go do it and see how long that lasts.
Actually, maybe she will. I don't know.
I don't think she'd mean it. She'd call me the next day or the night of. And I was like, where are you? You actually did it.
I was testing you.
But no, I don't think that Tessa...
I don't think Tessa had a backbone. Ever. She really didn't. Okay, even... Did she stand up to him? I don't think she ever did.
No, she didn't. She would fight with him. There's a difference between fighting and sticking up for yourself.
Because sticking up for yourself would be not allowing it to happen again.
Yeah, like when he would go into her room and she would ask him to leave and him saying no, then her getting angry, that's not sticking up for yourself.
No.
Sticking up for yourself is like, okay, I'm going to call the police.
Or I'm going to fucking walk away from you.
Yeah, exactly.
Or block your number.
And the fact that April says...
Oh my God.
We're coming for April. It's all the A's in this world. But she even says that she never crawls back to him.
She does,
She
though.
does. Her going and befriending her parents or his parents.
Mm-hmm.
Hello? That's weird.
That's weird. That's crawling back to him. You're allowing him to be a part of your life or in your circle, I guess.
I'm going to continue to read
Go ahead.
the review. Going into this, I thought it would be all about romance, but it's not. It's got so many other aspects in it that revolve around family, friends, university, and work life.
Oh my God.
This isn't just a love story. It's a coming-of-age story. Tessa really grows as a person and realizes that what she wants in life, and I really admire that.
Does she realize what she wants in life?
No, she drops college. I don't think she ever goes back to college after the first book.
Well, we don't know.
I hope she did.
Mm.
Didn't seem like she went to college ever in the second book. Didn't seem like anyone went to college after the second book. The whole college closed down.
For real.
I'm not saying that college has to be your entire life. You can go to your first year of college and realize it's not for you. Mm-hmm. That's fine.
I don't really think she knew what she wanted out of her life.
No.
You know, and I understand because her mom did want to dictate most of her life. And so she's finally getting some freedom. But still, she's letting it revolve around Hardin.
Yeah, around a boy.
Gross.
It's weird. Mm-hmm. That's weird that her life is basically dictated by whether or not she's going to be with him or not. Mm-hmm. And this isn't a coming of age story at all. No. she's of age. Like, she's there.
She made it.
I did not feel like there was any other aspect in the story except for whatever they had going on.
Yeah, because it's not like there was much surrounding the university. There wasn't anything about her school.
Yeah. You know what's really funny?
What?
This felt like a fan fiction. I know it was. But this felt like a fan fiction because have you ever read fan fiction?
Yes.
Where there's one specific class that they go to, like a college
and that's
one.
it.
Just one that they go to. And it's always written in the way that you can tell the author just had a class like this.
Yeah.
Or like, you just read this book and that's why you're talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how her college courses felt. Because it was like, damn, how convenient that your college course is just surrounding your life right now. You only talked about 2 novels in college. Hello.
And they're both revolving around your life. Or...
You know what I mean? It's weird. Mm-hmm. I didn't feel like she ever went to college. That classroom, as soon as she walked in, it was just a way to gear the plot forward.
Yeah,
There's nothing else about it. Yeah, but still, it was...
I wouldn't say it had much to do with the university, though.
No, it didn't.
Family, though. I'll give him that. Okay, family.
For Hardin, yeah. For the mom, or for Tessa, it was only the mom, but I mean...
Mm-hmm. We learned more about the dad later.
Yeah. Okay. Just know that I understand where the haters are coming from. Mm-hmm. But Hardin is changing for the better and is trying so hard to be good for Tessa. And Tessa's a badass who can hold her own and is trying to help Hardin get over his past and become a better person. And that's what matters, that he's trying and that she has the compassion to help him. I'm surprised that I didn't turn out to be one of the people hating on this book, and I am so glad that I gave it a chance. Don't be embarrassed to read this book because of all the hate you see. I say to give it a go and form your own opinion, and I ask you not to judge it based on the fact that it's a fan fiction.
I'm not judging it because it's a fan fiction.
I'm judging it because it's bad.
I'm judging it because it fucking sucks.
Yeah, it does suck. Sorry, April.
I respect that opinion. I don't agree, though. I respect it. It's a different perspective, you know?
I disrespect it.
Disrespect it.
No, I get you.
I don't know how people can read this and not lose brain cells. I was legit, like, pulling my hair. I was so exhausted. It felt like we needed therapy after this, you know?
Yeah.
We were personally victimized by Hardin.
Isn't it funny, though? Because the girl that I knew in college that read this book, I love her. I love her. If she ever watches this, because she knows we have a podcast.
Hi.
I love you so much. But she read this, and if she did like it, I know for a fact that this girl would never like put herself through a situation like this. I know her. No, you can't judge my friend.
Okay.
No, but I know for a fact that she would never put herself in a situation like this because we've talked about things like this. And, you know, she's very, like, put her foot down. Mm-hmm. So, like, that I guess that kind of goes with not everyone's going to follow what happens in writing. So
yeah.
Not all writing is
No, I mean, I'm not saying that people that like this
will be influenced to be in that.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I mean,
but maybe. I'm saying that some people will. Like,
I don't think so.
You don't think so? I mean, I'm around the impressionable youth most of my day.
Well, we're not talking about the youth right now.
But that's who reads it.
But this is explicit.
Well, you know a kid's going to pick up a book.
Okay, but there are worse books than this.
There shouldn't be more books like this, is what I mean. Because they're going to continue to go around and people are going to continue to see like, oh yeah, that person got it, so why can't I? Because there are some people who purposely make problematic things because they know people will consume it. There's problematic people who will continue to make content because they know people will consume it. And it's like, if we're continuing that cycle, the younger people who do end up reading this are going to be like, oh, well, I mean, that's pretty cool. I'll do it too. Even if you're not going to be the person who gets in a toxic relationship, you can be the person who writes about getting in a toxic relationship.
Right.
And then like Anna Todd saying that, you know, they're growing. It's fine. It's just going to create more like.
Maybe they do grow by the end of it.
Okay, fine. We'll read the other books.
I know.
But you know what I mean? It's like, it's never going to get better.
Yeah,
if people don't call it out.
Right, but the way that you say it, it's almost like you want to censor it.
I get what you mean.
I don't really want to censor anybody. I just don't like this book.
Yeah.
And I'm not, I don't have kids. So I don't really,
I have kids.
I don't have
I have a kid.
Yeah. She's 17.
She's so tiny.
I mean, by that, then I do have a kid too.
Yeah.
He's 16.
Oh my God.
Okay.
But wow. You're right. I don't believe that people should censor what they want to put out into this world. And even like, I don't think people should censor certain like things that have happened that they want to write about. So like if you want to write about a book about a toxic relationship, then go ahead and write about it. But just know that when you talk about it, don't try to make it seem like it's not what it is.
Don't make it seem like it's such a fun time.
When she talks about Hardin, she never mentions how toxic he is. It's just like, no, he's just a little damaged. And it's like, he's not. He's not okay.
Damaged.
Yeah, he is not okay. And you have to talk about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean. Like if the intention was different, then we would probably receive it differently.
Yeah. Do you remember the story A Child Called It?
Unfortunately, yes.
Did you like it? The book?
No. I don't think we're supposed to like it, right?
No, like you can like a book, but not like what's happening in it.
From what I remember, I think I did. It was really sad.
It was. I don't remember what grade I was in.
I was young.
I think I was in 6th, 5th. When I read it for the first time.
Mm-hmm. 6th.
And I remember like holding it like, teacher, I think this one's not supposed to be here. Because you remember there was always that section in the library where they're like, you don't read white sticker books, so you can't go over there. I was like, is this a white sticker book? Like, am I supposed to be reading this? Uh-huh. I think that's a good way to write books like that. Where something negative, abusive is happening in a book, but they're not romanticizing it. They're just... Yeah. Giving it a platform to talk about it. Because I know that...
Just a discussion.
Yeah, because I know that author felt very strongly about that. So he had like this whole organization of like, if you buy this book, this much money goes towards...
Yeah, if you haven't read the book, I would recommend it. It's very triggering though. Yeah. It's basically about this kid who had a really abusive mother. Yeah. Really abusive. Mm-hmm.
And gosh, like...
It was so sad.
But the thing is though, okay, how do you feel about this? Anna Todd likes the relationship she made though.
Oh, between Tessa and Hardin?
Yeah. So we can't even say that she should frame it in the way like relationship shouldn't be like this because she wants it to be like that. Mm-hmm. So what would you have liked that she would have done differently? Like what could she have done to make you be like, okay, I get it?
Well, okay, I don't know the series. I don't know how it's going to end, right? Mm. I'm assuming they hopefully become healthy at the end. Right?
I hope.
What if they don't?
You want me to look it up real quick?
No.
Okay. I never want to know, actually.
I don't want to know either. I think...
we should buy all the books and bury it in a time capsule.
I don't want to spend any money. I'm sorry. I don't want to give this series any money.
I get it.
I think that what I would have preferred was that if she would have actually... Well, I guess it doesn't make sense because the way that this one ended. I was going to say like they did break up, but they break up because she doesn't want to deal with him anymore. Not because of a bet.
It would have been nice if she didn't write so many in-between breakups in the story too. Mm-hmm. Like there should have been one good breakup.
Max 3. Max.
Yeah. I get
But there was like 16 times 10. So there was like too many breakups.
Yeah, I get you.
Maybe that. I mean, I don't think every relationship that we read needs to be super healthy. No. But I think the problem is that they're kind of, it's like they're ignoring that it's a toxic relationship. Yeah. Which is not okay.
It's not okay.
But I mean,
I think we're done.
We're done. Thank God.
I know.
I never want to fucking see this story ever again.
I think it's good to just let things rest. You know? Mm-hmm. We've done enough. We've done enough talking. Mm-hmm. We're going to read one last review. Mm-hmm. Leave it in the air. We're not going to say anything about it. But I first want to say thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe and hit the notification bell because that really does help. Don't know how, but apparently it does.
It does.
Leave comments, even if you want to trash.
Even if you want to trash us for trashing after.
I know. Maybe there's a fan out there who wants to tell us.
Oh, there's plenty.
Who wants to tell it to us straight, what we did wrong.
They're going to tell us why we're wrong, and then they're going to cite it.
Oh, thank you. If you want to do that, go ahead. I want to hear it. Mm-hmm. But if you also just want to discuss this with us, please, because I would want to talk about this with someone. Mm-hmm. If you are listening to us on Spotify, Apple Music, or Amazon Music, please leave a review because that really helps with analytics. It really helps get boosted. The best way to get known is by word of mouth. So please and thank you. Leave a review. But you want to read your last... Okay, your last Goodreads review.
Here is the last Goodreads review of the day. And it is by Kirsten.
Okay.
They wrote, "If it was possible for me to give a book less than a star, I would do it. I feel like Anna Todd grabbed the definition of what makes an emotionally abusive partner, then made a list of those attributes and didn't finish the book until all of the boxes have been checked. I have never read a book that has zero character development. Even some of the crappiest books I've read had some sort of plot, or at least some sort of development with the characters. This is just fight, make out, fight, escalated making out, fight, sex, with no rhyme, no reason. They never get along. If anything, they digress as characters. There is no love or development to this quote-unquote romance. It's just two insecure kids that want to bang, get angry about it, throw shit at each other, then bang. Ugh. Please, can we stop with this garbage already? I bought all 3 books because they were highly recommended new adult, and I just want to cry over the money I've now wasted. And these are books I don't even want to put on my shelf. 1 out of 5 stars.
Damn. Thank you for listening.
Thank
we
you.
will see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.